Welcome back to another episode of Al's Kitchen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Alex, but you can call me Al. Been running for 10 years, teaching you all how to cook British, Indian, restaurant curries at home and finding different ways to do them to make them more simple, more convenient and to serve more people in the home. So we're going to be sticking with the 30-minute series, and today we're cooking a chicken dopiaza. So some people say dopiaza, dopiaza, but basically it means twice onions. God, there's a lot of onions in this, so I hope you ain't dating because the breath ain't gonna be sweet, I'm telling you that now. But we're gonna be using lots of onions, two types of onions, well, the same onions, just white onions, brown onions, but chopped different ways, so the layers in the curry at the end are all there for you to eat and experience. So what am I drinking today? I'm sticking with the Carlsberg Export. Much better than the regular version. Fully over my flu or COVID or whatever it is that I had, although I'm still a little bit sinusy, but there's a lot going around in the winter time. Now I was gonna already have the onions prepared, but I thought that would be a little bit cheating, so I'm going to take you right from the start with a little bit of editing. Obviously you don't want to be watching onions brown for 10 minutes, do you? This is my second one, so if by the end of the video I'm slurring and I can't tell my art from my elbow, please forgive me. Right, let's go straight into the ingredients, shall we? Sticking with the 30-minute series, the best cut of chicken I recommend is the thighs, because they take around 25-30 minutes to cook through nicely. But you can use breast of chicken if you prefer, just add them a little later in the curry because you don't want to risk overcooking them. So I have 1 kilo of chicken thigh here sliced. Here I have 400 grams of onion. Now you want to slice these so you get nice little petals so that they go nice and translucent in the curry, but we're going to be searing these off as a pre-prep before we start our curry. And here I have 400 grams of onions again, but again, these are nice and finely sliced, and we're going to be browning those off more than the other onions, so you've got different layers of onions in your dopiaza. It's going to taste nice and sweet and savoury, coupled with those lovely Indian spices. By the end of it, you're going to be in curry heaven. Now remember, with the base here, I have 600 grams of onions that I boiled for 10 minutes. I saved 500 ml of the water, so we've got onion stock here, which is really going to lend itself to the curry, nice. And I've blended them in my new Whizzy Whizzer. I bought this little Whizzy Whizzer from Ninja, as I'm really getting into Ninja. Not sponsored by Ninja at all, but a friend of mine has one. He says, oh my God, this makes the perfect onion base for curries. Here we've got 150 ml of olive oil. Yes, you heard right, I'm using olive oil because we don't want dodgy Tikkas, do we? Olive oil is anti-inflammatory, so good if you suffer from arthritis, so no aches and pains. If you use veg oil, it's pro-inflammatory, so you might get aches and pains. Anyway, we've got a small piece of cinnamon, 6 cracked cardamom pods, 2.5 tablespoons of either mixed powder, mild madras curry powder or bassar mix. I'm using my own bassar mix because I think it's superior. We've got 2 teaspoons of good quality garam masala, 1 teaspoon of tandoori masala, 1 teaspoon of salt, might use a little more salt. We've got 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, and I have got 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. I've got a nice copious amount of fresh coriander chopped, which is going to go in at the end. And here I've got 2 large tomatoes quartered. Now I'm keeping some sugar and some garam masala handy because I will be sprinkling that in the onions just as part of the pre-prep. Now the cooking time for the curry, once you've done your pre-prep, is around 30 minutes, but don't get hooked up on the time. The end result is the most important thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brown these onions. They're going to take between 10 and 15 minutes, so I'm not going to bore you, but I'm going to start you off just to show you what I'm doing. So we want a nice splash of oil because we don't want them to burn, and we're going to be frying out the fine onions first because they're going to take the longest. So get that nice and hot, that oil. Out comes the old aluminium frying pan, but you can use whatever pot or pan you've got to get the onions nice and browned off. Right, so let's go in with these onions, yeah? Well, coat them all in the oil, and I'm going to be like slowly cooking these down for about 12 to 15 minutes. So I'll see you in 12 to 15. Remember, this is part of the pre-prep if you want that top special amazing Dopiaza. Okay, so we're nearly at the end stage. I added a pinch of sugar to accentuate the sweetness, and now I'm going to add a pinch of garam masala into these onions to finish them off. That's it, they're lovely and caramelised, and they will add a nice rich layer to the dish. And they will go in at the end. Now we're going to char these bad boys. Just a tiny splash of onion. Use the same pan, because what we're going to do is take off some of that flavour, sling those in there. Now you might need to do this for about 5 minutes. Right, so that's it with those onions. Gonna put those back in there. Right, keep that going, and now we're gonna sling in the tomatoes. Remember, we're not cooking the tomatoes, we're just charring them a little. That's it, put those back. Right, now we're ready to start on the curry, and this is my favourite part. So first stage, put your pan on. You can buy these, I'll leave the link in the description box below. Get the oil in there. This is the 150ml of olive oil. Do you know what, it's horrible being left-handed when the camera's on the right, because it means that you guys at home don't get to see what I'm doing. Right, once you've warmed that oil through, first thing we're going to do, what's that? Bit of onion. We're going to add the woody spices, so the cinnamon, the cardamom pods, and the fennel seeds. It's funny, a restaurant near me recommended the fennel, so it's going to add a very nice, very slight flavour to the dish. We'll see how that turns out. So let's infuse that oil with those whole spices. That's beautiful, just starting to sizzle. In goes our lovely blended base. We're going to cook this for 10 minutes just to sweeten it. So I'll be back with you in 10. Right guys, so that's the first stage done. Just slightly sweeten those onions. Don't worry too much about the colour either. That will be just fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat right down, because now we're going to make the curry paste. So the next lot of things to go in is the mixed powder, the tandoori masala, garam masala, cumin, coriander, and we're going to give that a lovely mix and make a curry paste. Those that have been doing these 30-minute curries know the drill. So you will be doing this with your eyes closed. That is beautiful. That's it. Working with a nice big pan like this makes life so much easier as well. Now obviously those spices will be melding with the onion base and blooming. Now I just want to say, you're getting a lot of people on social media saying about base gravy is better. This is base gravy. This is basically a base gravy concentrate. You've got your blended onions, you've got your spices, just like normal base gravy. And now we're going to add in the other elements, except we're doing it in reverse. So whereas you add all the water to your main base gravy and make a big soup, we've made a concentrate. Okay, so now add in the tomato paste. I'm sure that a lot of these curries will be made over Christmas, and sometimes even with my family we've had curry for Christmas Day, you know. You don't always want to follow tradition and be eating the turkey. I'm using the chicken thighs as I mentioned, but you can use breast. If you didn't want to use thighs, add the onion water now cook for the next 5 minutes and add the breast in 5 minutes in. Cover that chicken in all of that curry paste. Going to add the onion stock and all of that concentrated base is going to mix with the water, becoming what it should be. Lid on, and we're going to cook it for 10 minutes. You know the drill. So lid off for the first stage, lid on for the second stage. Right, I'll see you in 10. Did anybody tell you? Aprons are back in stock. Yes, they've not been in stock for a whole year, but now they are back just for Christmas because I've been getting emails requesting them, but there aren't many to buy. So I've only ordered 100 units, 50 black, original, 50 burgundy, which actually I like, goes with my blush complexion, and they are on sale now. I will leave the link in the description box below. I send to the UK and worldwide if you send me an email first, and they are expected to be delivered with me by the 15th of December, and hopefully, I pray to God, they will be with me on the 15th of December so they can be with you before Christmas Day. Obviously if they don't come you'll still get them, but you might just get them for a New Year's treat. But I'm hoping to get them to you for Christmas Day. So go and order your aprons, make a perfect Christmas present for anybody you don't particularly like, or someone you may love. Second stage complete. Right, let's check out what we've got here. So that's 20 minutes in total. Give that a stir, and that's beautiful. So we're 20 minutes in, and now this is the last stage, the stage that I call the perfecto zone. And you know what that is, guys. That's the area of the curry where you start to get perfection. So we're going to add in the sugar and the salt and coriander. Love coriander in a curry. So stick a nice big bunch of coriander in there. Save a little bit for the garnish at the end and give that a stir. So this is the last 10 minutes this, so get the timer going again. Give that a mix. Right, so you can see it's a little bit runny, and why is that? Because we've got more onions to go in there. So let's put in our service onions. Look at those. Oh my God, how this is going to flavour this curry. I'm going to put all them in. You can save some of this for garnish. I'm not going to do that. That's it, stir all that through. And this is going to change the colour of the curry a little bit because they're dark. Right, and after 5 minutes, I'm going to add the remaining onions. So I'll see you back in 5 minutes when I'm going to finish this curry off. Right, so this is nearly done. We've got 4 minutes left. Now at that stage, we're going to add in these onions, and this is going to complete all the onions that's going into this dopiaza. So I give that a stir, and they're just literally going in for the last 4 or 5 minutes. But you know, use your common sense, you'll know when it's right to go in. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And these are going to have a ever so slight crunch to them because all we did is make them translucent. So we'll let that simmer off for the last stage of this curry. I'm actually really dying for the taste test with this one. Slightly better. Now remember, unlike the other curries, oh God, now all the steam's coming, this isn't as red as previous ones. It's not meant to be because it's a dopiaza. The brown onions gave it a more shade that you'd probably be used to in the restaurants. Right, I think that's about done now. So off goes the gas. And you're thinking, oh, you ain't put the tomatoes in. Well, remember we charred them a little bit and they've just been resting. You can just put those in right at the end. Let them just sit in the hot sauce. And then if you just leave them like that, you'll be able to select them out when you portion up the curry. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Those lovely onions. Absolutely gorgeous. Give that a shake. All we want to do is dress it with a tiny little bit of coriander. If you'd had some of the service onions, now would have been the time. And last but not least, our signature twist of lemon. Wow, look at that. Chicken Dopiaza in under an hour. I just don't know what to say really. I'm so happy with the way this has come out. I hope you try this at home. I'm hoping that it's going to taste nice, so let's go in. That is really, really good. Just as a Dopiaza should be. That is really lovely. Absolutely beautiful. So good, so good. Let's have a bit of onion with that. A little bit of chicken. Absolutely delicious. I mean, if you love a Dopiaza, you're going to love this. That is really, really tasty. I'm going to have this with some nice pilau rice. I might actually do a mushroom rice with this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please give this a try at home. That's the biggest compliment you can give me, alongside liking and subscribing to the channel. Go look back at the back catalogue if you want to learn how to make perfect pilau rice or perfect coloured rice. Done all the videos in the past. So this is a catalogue of videos that you'll want to hold on to. Subscribe them and press the notification bell so that you've got them logged on your computer. Anyway, I'm going to finish up now and tidy up this mess, and I'll love you and leave you, and I'll see you soon, but probably after Christmas. So I wish you all well and enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. I'm Al, and I'm out of here.